Today is all about stress busting recipes, and I know when I'm stressed, I reach for sweets, and that's like most of us. Sweets actually increase serotonin, which is our happy neurotransmitter, so it puts us in a good mood. But there's such a thing as good sweets and bad sweets, and what I'm going to show you today is a guilt-free dessert that'll knock stress right out of the park. So what I'm going to be making is a guilt-free pumpkin mousse, and I'm going to pair that with a calming chamomile iced tea. So to begin, I'm going to start with our pumpkin mousse. So I have some pureed pumpkin in the bowl here, and I have about 2 cups. Now, pumpkin is such a stress-busting food. The reason being is it's loaded in vitamin B6, which, remember, B6 is our energy boosting and stress busting vitamins. Plus it has magnesium in there, vitamin C, beta carotene, which all help counteract stress. Now, I'm also going to add a little bit of maple syrup. Maple syrup is going to give it a little bit of sweetness, but no need to fret because I'm going to pair it with some cinnamon. What cinnamon does is it actually counteract the effects of the maple syrup, so it balances that, the blood sugar imbalance. When we're stressed, typically we want desserts, as I mentioned, and the reason being is because it actually boosts our mood. But when you have something like refined sugars and you have something, like donuts and pastries and all that kind of stuff, yes, it might give you a temporary fix and you might feel good for all of 10 minutes. But what happens after is it's so short-lived that you'll crash. And when you crash, you need more sweets. So a vicious cycle occurs. You get these crazy cravings, and what happens is over time, you keep eating more and more sweets and pastries, then you get fat, and then more depressed, and even more stressed. So it is the vicious cycle. So this is something that is totally good for you and natural. So we're going to add a little bit of vanilla to this as well, and some coconut oil. Now, as you'll see here, we have the coconut oil. Oopsies. We have the coconut oil heating in some warm water because it is solid at room temperature. It's a saturated fat, so it stays solid at room temperature. So you'll see it right here, it's really, really solid. So you want to make sure it's liquid. And now what the fats actually do in here is when you have something that's rich in beta carotene, you always want to couple that with a fat because it actually helps with the absorption. It's a fat soluble nutrient, so you need to add fats to that. But what this is going to do, you want to mix this all up. What this is going to do is when you refrigerate it, which we're going to do after we finish this up, I'm just going to grate some nutmeg first. But when you refrigerate it, the coconut oil will solidify a little bit. So when you take it out of the fridge, it'll actually become really airy and really, really moussey and absolutely delish. So I have my pumpkin spices in there, some nutmeg, I have my cinnamon, maple syrup. I'm just going to throw this into the fridge and I'm going to let it chill out for a little bit.